When I write a first draft, I tend to focus on my own thoughts. I try to make the text as clear as possible for myself. I don't think about the possible readers. That's why I pay little attention to use of correct grammar. Most people seem to do that as well. That's why a first draft is frequently called a rough draft. It will need a lot of editing and possibly rewriting before readers would consider reading it. This raises a critical question. How can I convert my rough draft into a paragraph which readers would like to read, which is called a reader's draft? Once again, I use thinking strategies to revise my rough draft so that readers might read it what I've written. After all, usually I write in order to share my thoughts with others and not with myself. That's why readers are so important to me. Here's a paragraph which I would call a first draft or rough draft because it needs a lot of editing. But that's okay. The important point is that the author wrote her thoughts on her main idea. Now she's ready to edit it. David Suzuki is a well-known biologist and outspoken environmentalist. I like what Suzuki said about the environment. I also like the fact that he was a Canadian. So who does public speaking on junior high? Who listened to a young kid? I agreed with Suzuki about Save Nature. But why do he do his research in British Columbia? Could he not got accepted in a US university? I find his TV show on the nature of things boring. Do you liking them? Before I edit this paragraph, let me point out a few things that bother me about the way it is written, even though it contains some new information. First, I prefer that the paragraph be written in third person, not in first person. I'm not interested in learning more about the writer. I want to know more about David Suzuki, the well-known biologist and outspoken environmentalist. If the writer was writing about herself, I would expect her to write in the first person, e.g. I. Since I want her to write about another person, she should use the third person. Second, the writer simply lists a few things she knows about Suzuki. I want to read a paragraph that is focused on the main idea and that is organized in a way that makes the information flow. The way the paragraph is written makes me wonder whether the writer has done some careful research. In other words, I wonder, is her information accurate and reliable? Last, her grammar errors get in my way as I read the paragraph. Grammar is supposed to help me read a paragraph, not interfere with the flow of ideas. I wonder why she wrote the paragraph the way she did. She started with a clear statement of the main idea, but she did not follow through with an organization of the other sentences. Here's how I use thinking strategies to edit her paragraph. Thinking strategy 1, creating a concept map. I begin my editing by creating a concept map. A concept map works like an outline. It's just a little more graphic. I could have made an outline instead of a concept map. I chose to create a concept map. It is an image I can see in my mind without looking at it. Strategy number 2, applying the paragraph format. Second, I will apply the common format for paragraphs. It can help you understand why I edited it the way I did. The paragraph format is captured in the following model. I will complete the template for a paragraph format focusing on the main idea sentence. Template for the paragraph format. Main idea. David Suzuki is a well-known biologist and outspoken environmentalist. Sub-idea 1. School interest. Supporting details. Public speaking developed when he was in junior high school. Win many public speaking contests, often speaking about conserving nature. Sub-idea number 2. Supporting research. Supporting details. After working in several universities, the University of British Columbia, where he continued his research in biology. Sub-idea number 3. Contribution. Supporting details. Shares his environmental concerns with the world. TV program The Nature of Things. Conclusion. As a result of his contributions, the world will never be the same. Strategy number 3, editing the paragraph. I edited the paragraph on David Suzuki based on the main idea sentence and the concept map I created above. David Suzuki is a well-known biologist and outspoken environmentalist. He was born on March 24, 1936, the eldest son of the Suzuki family. His interest in public speaking developed when he was in junior high school. He went on to win many public speaking contests, often speaking about conserving nature. After working in several universities, Suzuki moved to the University of British Columbia, where he continued with his research in biology. Today, Suzuki shares his environmental concerns with the world through his TV program, The Nature of Things. As a result of his contributions, the world will never be the same. So you can see how I have changed the paragraph by following my concept map and the paragraph format. This makes it easier for readers to follow my thoughts about Suzuki. I avoided the errors in the rough draft, the errors I pointed out above, by applying the following thinking strategies. Creating a concept map. I created a concept map to focus my paragraph around the main idea. Thinking strategy number 2, applying the paragraph format. I follow the paragraph format to organize the paragraph so that the readers can follow my thoughts. And thinking strategy number 3, edit the paragraph. I wrote in 2 tenses, the present and the past. You will notice that I wrote the first and the last sentence in the present tense because they are about Suzuki today. The rest of the sentences are all written in the past tense because they are about Suzuki's past experiences, his experiences in school and as a researcher. This consistent use of tenses is very important so as not to confuse the readers about what happened when. In short, I followed 3 simple guidelines to create a reader's draft which is easy to read. Try this. Before you write your own paragraph, complete a template on paragraphs at sponsorvillage.ca. Click on Writing and scroll to Paragraph Format. Next, write your own paragraphs using the thinking strategies described above. Ask somebody you trust to give you feedback. If you have any questions about the writing process, send them to Ask Dr. Otto at sponsorvillage.ca. Enjoy your writing experience.